Hi, welcome to Pictures, Noise and Words. I'm Hedgy, and this is Charles, who I could have dropped right in it then and said, this is...
And I could have jumped in quickly.
Jumped in. If you watch my channel, which absolutely you should, you'll see that Charles has been here all week. So, it's a bit of a funny one today, Charles, because this is the Spectre Beneath.
I've heard of them.
Have you heard of them? Yeah.
I have. One of their albums.
Of course, everyone's heard of the Spectre Beneath, but if just in case they're really weird people and they haven't, again, if you've watched my channel over time, before the pandemic, there should be another person where Charles is. Literally sat here in the room with me, which is Paz, and Paz is a musician who's made, I think at last count, 40 albums.
I'm a very weak fill-in.
And he has a band called the Spectre Beneath, and he released an album last year, and he's released another album yesterday as I'm recording this. So on the 27th of November, his new album, The New Identity of Sydney Stone, came out. And I have not heard it. Even though I've known Paz for 30 years, he did not let me hear his album.
He's that guy from Plague and the Decay.
Plague and the Decay, that's the same guy, yes. In fact, if I start listing off the names of his things, we could be here for a while. So, Paz is a musician, songwriter, and he has his projects. And this is a band, the Spectre Beneath. So, you know, there is a drummer and there is a singer. His singer sings a lot better than Paz does. Right, so it's going to be very difficult for me to critique this because I've known Paz for 30 years. And I see him fairly often still, even in the pandemic, so I've got to be careful. But I have heard this song, just to be clear, and so I'm not worried because it's pretty good.
I have no expectation to criticize his work because I love his work.
Okay then. So, yeah, I think we should just get on with it because it's going to be easier to talk about afterwards. So there's a link to the song as usual below this video, and on the original video is where you can go and buy it, which you should, even though you haven't heard it yet. This is totally biased. Totally biased. Let's just get on with it. So, if you've been watching this week, you'll know Charles can't see my screen, so I need to count him in so he can watch it independently on his own. So, I assume you're ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, click.
Brilliant.
Where'd you go from there?
Brilliant. That is some beautiful driving metal.
So there's the singer, Miss Loxia, or Loxa, I'm not sure how you say it. She's got quite a sultry sound to her voice. I wonder what she'd sound like. And knowing Paz, there isn't a ballad on this album, but if there, I wonder what she'd sound like singing a ballad, because she's got that throaty kind of sultriness to her voice, hasn't she? I like her voice.
Yeah, and one thing you don't hear enough these days that this is a beautiful example of is a metal song with all clean vocals without coming off.
At no point did anyone go, "Wah!"
Right, all clean vocals, beautiful voice, but at no point came off like a cheesy power metal song, which seems to be the only place you get clean vocals these days is cheesy power metal. This was classic metal, and another thing I love with everything that Paz writes is there's always a thread of some old school thrash in there, which I just absolutely love.
Well, he really likes his old school thrash as well, so yes, I can understand why that exists. The other thing about, and I mean, let's face it, people, I'm totally biased, so this is just, but one thing about Paz's work is there tends to be more melodies in it than you at first realize. There's a little counter melody that runs through this, and it's the rhythm guitar bit. You can tell I'm a drummer, can't you? The one of the bits anyway. But you can hear it running through in the background, and it adds that there's a layer in the background that runs through with a melody. And Pete, I used to play with Pete, and Pete is the master of like the vocal melody and stuff. So he will have come up with that vocal melody, and that "I Want to Breathe In" part, you hear that a couple of times, it's gonna get wedged in your head, like it or not. So he's excellent at his melodies stuff, but he's also good at having that heavy driving kind of chugging thing without spoiling the melody, and then having the production that makes it go, that makes it stay heavy. The drummer, Constant, when Paz writes stuff, he tends to write it at kind of a pace. So so poor Constant is going to need springs in his ankles to keep up with the stuff that Paz tends to write.
I think the application for the drummer says, how fast can you run 5 kilometer?
That's right. Yeah. What's your race? 5K time? And if it's not under 20 minutes, you're not getting in. But the other thing that he does is he'll write a fast driving metal song, and he will have slow vocals. So you've got that juxtaposition, and I think some people, it comes as it's a bit jarring, I think, at first. And it's only, I think, if you've never heard this kind of, people who are just coming to this fresh, obviously, in no way am I fresh to this stuff, but anyone who's coming to this fresh, I wonder whether for the first verse they think, oh, that's not what I was expecting, kind of thing. And then by the end of the song, they go, oh, that really works. I think there is that jarring thing, because she does have this sort of not an obvious metal voice, I think.
Right. If she didn't have a background in metal before the first Spectre Beneath album, she should be thinking that she should, because she fits beautifully with these songs.
Yeah. So I think he's pulled off a trick there, of having that a less obvious metal voice with what is a very metal song.
I found that extremely refreshing.
So, yeah. So, like I say, it's I think it's easier for Charles to come at this with more subjective, objective view. I'm coming at it with a subjective view, so it's kind of difficult for me.
I would like to point out, for if anybody hasn't heard his previous album and previous work, is there was a guest, Vinny Assis, on the guitar solo.
Yep.
But Paz himself, Pete, is a absolute wizard of a guitar player. And I'm sure that'll be evident on the rest of the album and all his previous work. He's just a masterful guitar player.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's really good, and he likes to keep it all under under a bushel, as they say. You know, he's not. Yeah, I was kind of surprised he's showing up in his own video. Let's put it that way.
He even had a metal pose in the beginning when they showed the players.
That's right. Yeah, someone must have got him at gunpoint to do that one. I'm in so much trouble when this gets released. But no, it's really good stuff. It's totally listenable. It's well done. It's well written. I like it, obviously. But, you know...
It's in my collection.
Charles is not being paid to be here, so you know that, don't you? You know I'm not paid.
I thought I was getting a trip to the space station.
Oh, okay.
You abandoned that long ago.
We've moved off to some alien planet now. This is No Man's Sky behind me, by the way, people.
I thought I recognized it.
Which I played not enough. I played some of it and then didn't play. It was like, sorry, Paz, your song's done. So it got really complicated really quickly, or it felt like it when I was playing it. So I thought, okay, I'll have to come back to this, and then never did. So hey ho. I was playing it in VR as well, which might not have helped me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Very envious of your VR set.
I've got a new one coming in 2 weeks, the latest one that's like 4K. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. If my PC can run it, I'll end up having to invest in a new PC as well. Anyway, the Spectre Beneath, which is this band, which has this album literally out 27th of November. Follow the links. Go and buy it. Paz would definitely appreciate you buying it because he's had to pay to make it. and people are not showering him with money for it. So, you know, the new identity of Sydney Stone. Now, if you did get the last album, there was a group of songs towards the end of the album that was all about Sydney Stone getting buried alive.
The whole previous album was a story.
Yeah.
Leading up to sequel.
Yeah. So there is a story behind all of this. But as mentioned at the beginning, Paz has not shared anything with me, so I haven't even heard it. So I don't even know why I'm doing this video. Right.
And you're not getting paid either.
And I'm not getting paid either, no. Why are we doing this? Oh, yes. It's because we have a lovely community of lovely people, like Charles.
And the love of music. Before I go, I have to say I had totally lost touch with music in general, and especially metal music. Happened a few years ago upon Hedgy's channel, Pictures, Noise, and Words, and what a discovery it's been. It's completely re-sparked my love of metal music.
You can't blame me for spending all of your money.
Completely drained my bank account. But what a pleasure. Yeah.
It's been great for me too, because at the end of the day, I'm just some guy sitting in his house who, bored one day, said, I think I'll make a YouTube video because I don't like the ones that other people are making. Because at the time, 2 years ago, I think it felt even worse for reaction channels. At the time, I remember thinking, who are all these people just going... ah! Every time they hear a song, and it was really annoying, man. Nobody had anything to say about anything. It was just... And I was probably just watching because YouTube recommends to you what you've watched. So I probably clicked on the wrong things, and then all YouTube recommended to me was the same thing. So I'm probably to blame.
And those reaction channels would have done nothing to rekindle my interest. It was
because
your expositions on the videos and the comments from your viewers also.
Absolutely. And I would not have carried on doing this at all past a month. I thought, I'll give it a month, see if anybody watches any of them. Because you don't know, do you? You're just making a video and you put it on YouTube, and what happens? Anything, you know?
Brilliant.
I won't go that far. Have you seen the early ones?
Well, the background wasn't as interesting.
Zero clue what I was doing, and now I have about 10% clue what I'm doing. But people like you turned up and made it interesting and made it fun, and I thought, oh, this is good. I can actually have a conversation with people. But if if people hadn't turned up, then I wouldn't be here. I'm not doing this, like I say, certainly not doing it for the money, because there isn't any. And it is fun to do, but it's not fun to do if I'm just talking into the wind. So the fact that I have some regular people who regularly comment, and a couple of for unknown bands that because let's face it, people tend to watch what they know. Fair enough, I get that. But even for unknown bands, there are a couple of hundred people who watch, or at least clicks, who watch those videos. So I'm eternally grateful for people for this existing. Even though I made it, I only feel like it's partly mine.
Oh, some of the bands I've picked up from here, I think of Whispered.
Oh yeah,
Kinky Dinky.
Absolutely.
What a find!
It's amazing.
Jack the Joker. What a find!
Yeah, Jack the Joker. I mean, it's a band name that you would not automatically click on, is it? You think Jack the Joker. What? And Paz and I, when we watched it, I can remember we kind of went, what? When the guy starts singing, and you go, okay, this is not what I expected to get. And I would, without this channel, it's not like I know all these bands, people from Brazil, people from Japan, people from India, and people from wherever, even far-flung places like America. Recommend stuff, There's very few UK bands on my channel.
Stay with Canada.
Yeah.
Avatar. I found Avatar on your channel, and Avatar has become absolutely one of my favorite bands. And what were the chances last year? The last concert I saw, and probably will see for the foreseeable future, was Avatar and Baby Metal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What were the chances of those two together?
The last two gigs I went to were Ninganisu.
Another great find on your channel.
And Baby Metal. Literally, because they just happened to be one after the other. One was on Friday and one was on Saturday. At different ends of the country, unfortunately. But hey-ho, our country's not that big. It's not too bad. I did drive there, didn't have to get on a plane or anything. But yeah.
So bands looking to be discovered.
So I don't have, I bet nobody's watching now, Charles. You know that, don't you? Everyone's wandered off. We're just talking to each other now. But someone will now put in the comments, no, I was watching. Yeah. So
my CD.
What was I saying? Oh, it's gone. Oh yes. What? The thing is, I don't have a genre for this channel. Admittedly, it does tend to be a bit death metal heavy sometimes. But I think that's because my audience is, so it tends to recommend me things that are. But I don't really care what the genre is, as long as it's a genre within metal, because, and I've said this lots of times, it's not about whether I just like it or don't like it, because anyone can say, oh, I like it, it's good, or I don't like it, it's rubbish. That's not... I used to be a music reviewer, and the whole point is, you might not like it, but is it any good?
Right.
Now I might.
That's right.
It might, because you might hear me say sometimes, this isn't really for me. It's not really my thing. However, it's a very good example of its genre, or it's you can hear the quality of it. You can hear the stuff that's gone in. You can hear the work that's gone into it, and all of that sort of thing. I would not listen to it myself. You know, that kind of thing.
And you will hear absolute gems, like from My Dying Bride. Music so heavy it has to fall out of the speaker and crawl across the room to reach you.
Did I say that?
That was, gems.
Yeah. Well, that's nice, because I don't, as Charles has seen in the last week, there is no planning goes into this. This is all just stream of consciousness stuff. It just literally, whatever's going on in my head comes out of my mouth, which is why every now and again there's an edit in my videos. It's like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that, you know. Yeah, I delete all the cuttings to make sure they never surface. But yeah, I know this is the end of like the Spectre Beneath video and everything, and nobody has got this far, but I am eternally grateful for the last, what is nearly 3 years now of doing this. And when I started it, I had zero idea, and I got 1,000 subscribers in the first month and literally did not know what to do with myself. I just like, oh no, people are actually watching them. They're going to have expectations. What do I do? Yeah, that was a real
Stream of
shocker.
consciousness works.
It was a real shocker. But yeah, so I don't know where we got here, but here we
Paz
are.
did a video.
Oh yeah, Paz did a video. Well, he didn't. His band did. The Spectre Beneath. It's Paz. It's Paz.
Paz did an album.
So yeah, buy it, everybody. And then maybe he'll be able to afford to make another one. But obviously, we're now 50 minutes into this video, so it's a bit late to be saying this. Oh, excuse me. I'll have to edit that one out. So I'll probably not edit this. I'll just chuck it up all in one piece and let people decide what they want to do. So obviously, thank you very much, Charles, for coming along this week.
Thank you for the opportunity. Really a blast. Really a blast.
I hope it's been tolerable. But it's really good for me when people come, because doing this on your own, you're just talking to yourself really in a room, and it's very good to have someone to bounce off and talk to, and you've got your opinion, and that sends us off. I mean, this week we've gone off on a few tangents, and it's just,
that's great.
It's just.
Well, happy to do it anytime.
It makes my life much easier. Doesn't make your life easier, because Charles had to get up at silly o'clock this morning.
It does. It does. I was awake. Now it's, the nice timing for me is breakfast will be ready.
Okay. Yes, and it's like mid-afternoon for me. So thank you very much for coming, and hopefully it won't be too long before you come back. Thank you everyone for watching. Yes, brilliant. Thanks everyone for watching. If you made it this far, give yourself a gold star. And let us know what you think about the video. That is not my video, the video. And I'll see you all soon. So, bye Charles.
Thank you.
Bye everyone. Thanks a lot.